I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Wakar Kadash, to give me the spirit to do this video. Let's jump right to it. First Kings chapter 19, verse 19. So he departed thence and found Elisha. Who is the he talking about? Elijah, all right? And found Elisha, the son of Shaphat, who was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen before him, and he with the 12. And Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him. Because when you read before that, Yahweh told Elijah to find Elisha, man, okay, to anoint him as a prophet under him, man, to follow Elijah, all right? So it says, and Elijah passed by him and cast his mantle upon him, and he left the oxen and ran after Elijah and said, let me, I pray thee, kiss my father, my mother, and then I will follow thee. And he said unto him, go back again, for what have I done to thee? And he returned back from him and took a yoke of oxen and slew them, and boiled their flesh with the instruments of the oxen, and gave unto the people, and they did eat. Then he arose and went after Elijah and ministered unto him. Okay, so he was under Elijah, man, to do what? To soak up the game of faith, to soak up that spiritual walk, okay? How he should walk, how he should think, the confidence he should have, man, to do anything, man, that he set his mind to do, according to his belief and faith in Yahweh and Yahushua, man. And that's what Elijah taught Elisha, man. So think about that. He went from plowing oxen to being under Elijah to doing things like Elijah. And we're going to get into that, man. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 2, starting at verse 1. We're going to start at the top and go through it. And it came to pass when Yahweh would take up Elijah into heaven by a whirlwind, by a chariot, the angel, that Elijah went with Elisha from Gilgal. And Elijah said unto Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord hath sent me to Bethel. And Elisha said unto him, as the Lord liveth, and as my soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they went down to Bethel, and the sons of the prophets that were at Bethel came forth to Elisha and said unto him, knowest thou that the Lord will take away thy master from thy head today? And he said, yeah, I know it. Hold your peace. And Elijah said unto him, Elisha, tarry here, I pray thee, for the Lord hath sent me to Jericho. And he said, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. So they came to Jericho, and the sons of the prophets that were at Jericho came to Elisha and said unto him, knowest thou that the Lord will take away thy master from thy head today? And he answered, yeah, I know it. Hold your peace. And Elijah said unto him, tarry, I pray thee here, for the Lord hath sent me to Jordan. And he said, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave thee. And they two went on. Verse 7. And 50 men of the sons of the prophets went and stood to view afar off, and they two stood by Jordan. And Elijah took his mantle and wrapped it together and smote the waters, and they were divided hither and thither, so that they too went over on dry ground. Ooh, Elijah was bad, man. Okay, and it wasn't just him, it's a spirit of Yahweh in him, right? Of Yahweh Shah in him. But he had the faith to do these things, man. Okay, he had the faith to do these things. And who is under him watching these things? Elisha. Elisha is seeing what's possible while under Elijah. Okay, seeing what's possible, man. All right, keep that in mind. Verse 9. And it came to pass when they were going over that Elijah said unto Elisha, ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. Woo! And he said, thou hast asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. So even Elijah knew, like, whoa. But Elijah knew through faith, he knew that was possible. That's why he said, nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee. Okay? And also, Elijah had faith that he could say that to Elisha and that it would be so. Okay? Man, you're talking about heavy spiritual, man. A heavy spiritual connection with Yahweh and Yahushua, period. And that's what we're growing into, man. We want to get on that level. When we walk and we say something, things just happen. Okay? Through our faith, through our belief, through our confidence of our elevation in this truth. Period, man. Okay? So it says, and it shall be unto thee, but if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven, and Elisha saw it. And he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes, and rent them in two pieces. He took up also the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and went back and stood by the bank of Jordan. And he took the mantle of Elijah that fell from him, and smote the waters, and said, where is the Lord thy God of Elijah? And when he also had smitten the waters, they parted hither and thither, and Elisha went over. So right away, he got that spirit of what? That spirit of faith that Elijah had. That boldness and confidence to walk and things just happen just because he said so and he believes it. That's heavy, man. Okay? Verse 15. And when the sons of the prophets which were to view at Jericho saw him, they said, the spirit of Elijah do rest on Elisha. And they came to meet him and bowed themselves to the ground before him. And they said unto him, behold, now there be with thy servants 50 strong men. Let them go, we pray thee, and seek thy master, lest peradventure the spirit of the Lord have taken him up, and cast him upon some mountain, or into some valley. And he said, you shall not sin. And when they urged him till he was ashamed, he said, sin. They sent therefore 50 men, and they sought 3 days, but found him not. And when they came again to him, for he tarried at Jericho, he said unto them, did I not say unto you, go not? Because Elisha already knew what happened, man. He knew he got took up, all right? And that he received that portion of his spirit, which is why he was able to split the waters, man, okay? Because that portion of his spirit, a double portion, was heavy faith, okay? A heavy faith in his walk in his truth while serving Yahweh Shem Shai, all right? Verse 19, and the man of the city said unto Elisha, behold, I pray thee, the situation of this city is pleasant, as my Lord seeth, but the water is not, and the ground barren. And he said, bring me a new cruse, and put salt therein. And they brought it to him. And he went forth into the spring of the waters, and cast the salt in there, and said, thus says the Lord, I have healed these waters. In the name of Yahweh Shem Shai, man, he healed those waters. Because why? He had the faith. He had that portion, okay, that double portion of Elijah, man. Did not Elijah call down fire, man? Just doing things, man. You got to think about how spiritual that is, man. All right? And it says, I have healed these waters. There shall not be from thence any more death or barren land. So the waters were healed until this day, according to the saying of Elisha, which he spoke. According to Elisha's saying, man. That's the power he had through faith in serving Yahweh Shem Shai. See, when you serve the Lord, man, and you're serious and passionate about faith, things just happen. You make things happen according to your faith, man. The Lord gives it to you. If you're willing to accept it, meaning believe and have faith on it, to walk that way, okay? Verse 23, and he went up from thence unto Bethel, and as he was going up by the way, there came forth little children out of the city, and mocked him, and said unto him, go up, thou bald head, go up, thou bald head, mocking him, making fun of him, right? Now, this is all the things the kids said, right? But you know that was irritating, man. You know that was high side and hardcore to the point where Elisha was very offended, man, okay? The scriptures tell you about offending his little ones, man, his prophets, all right? And those who believe in him. Verse 24, and he turned back and looked on them and cursed them in the name of Yahweh Shem Shai. And there came forth 2 she-bears out of the wood, and tare 42 children of them. And he went from thence to Mount Carmel, and from thence he returned to Samaria, man. It tore their ass up, man. Think about that, man. 2 bears tore up 42 kids, man. How the hell did the bear get to all them kids like that? That's power, man. He just said it and it happened, man. Right then and there, it just happened, man. They got tore up. Why? Because of that faith. Because of that double portion, man, of Elijah's spirit. You got to think about that, man. These are the things that you have to take in. These things are written for our learning. To learn what? That when you walk as a children of light, You have that faith, all these things you read about are possible for you to do as well. Okay? That's what this lesson is about. It's possible for you to do as well, period. With that, hey, Lord willing, I can do a part 2 or just go further on it. But for right now, that's all I want to say in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai, man. I hope you brothers was uplifted in understanding how important it is to lift your faith and to elevate it, man, in this time, man, that anything is possible, okay? Because that anything is possible is going to be needed. That mind state is going to be needed in Jacob's trouble. So you have to understand that to exercise in that now. It's not going to magically come when all hell breaks loose, man. You have to exercise into that now, all right? So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kadash, for giving me the spirit to do this video. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you, Akamite that is doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.